Assalamu alaikum. This is Dr. Janicito. I'm the instructor for BUS 3203, and it's the spring of 2014. And I'm in this class, which is section 1, and they have questions to ask about the SESM team report. So I'm just going to pull it up on the screen, ladies, and whoever's watching the video, if it's the gentleman in section 2 or if it's the ladies in section 2, welcome. So I'm just going to open, as you can see here, it says team read-only copy. I'm going to try to open it up and then going to answer the questions. All right, so ladies, now you've asked me to go over the report. Yes? Okay, so I'm going to open up the document and we're just going to go over this. It's opening up very slowly, but it's all there. Welcome to Khalud, who just walked in. Okay. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a report, and what we want to focus on is the last rounds. So basically, the results of everything you've done in SESM. So basically, round 7. Now, as this says here, what happened in your business, and basically what you've done since round 1 as a summary. So in addition, your report should have an introduction, and a fancy word for the introduction is the executive summary, which you can see is here. And then it should be about 20 pages. Now the reason why I don't want anyone to faint is you're going to have charts and tables. Okay, so it's not 20 pages of writing, tables and charts. Okay, so now what we want you to do is just to focus on what you've learned from the SESM and basically some of the basics that you've picked up, some of the data. So in any ways, all your ideas should be explained with data and points. So you can say, oh, our company did very well. Well, how do we know it did very well? Remember when we looked at the theory, we looked at the fact there's 3 things we look at. One of them is fit, the other one was SCA, and the other one was performance. And how did we know if we performed very well? We look at our profits, and we look at our sales figures, and we look at the share price. And share price, we find a lot of that information in TSR. So we want this to be a nice report. Put some color into it. Use APA, HCT style. Use your best English. Remember, spelling grammar is is about 20% of the paper. So, write nice. Okay, you can do it. Now, I know people are saying about the date. Okay, and I know that for this class, we've made an adjustment. It's the 9th. Okay, that's fine. And put it in a soft copy on BB Learn because I have to mark things on BB Learn now. But I also like a hard copy. All right, so BB Learn's the most important thing. Just put it up there. Later on, just give me a soft copy. Maybe the next day. That's fine. And I know it says 3 p.m., but you know what? I do believe I've got the system set up for 11 p.m. So you could set it up. Don't be here on campus at 11 o'clock, though. It's dark here. Right, Megha? Okay, just submit it on BB Learn. Then the next day when you're on campus, just print a copy and put it in my mailbox. Okay, so anyways, let's take a look at what you need. So the title page is very important. Spell my name right. I've got some students who handed in things and they didn't spell my name right. They didn't spell the course right either. Listen, okay. They thought this was nutrition class. It's not nutrition class. Okay. So basically, let's go through the table of contents. So you've got to have a table of contents. And then executive summary is basically, it's an overview. You could say, this is a report for BUS 3203, Strategy and Simulation. Our team is the best team. And we played 3 practice rounds and 7 real rounds. And we had the highest sales. But unfortunately, we had a big loss because our prices was too cheap. So as you can see, that's just a little basic summary about what the business. But then, ladies and gentlemen, we want to have you talk a little bit in your executive summary about how your team performed and a bit about your strategy. So if I continue with this, so this is our team. You know, we had the highest profits, but we didn't have the highest sales, but we didn't have any profit. Our strategy was focus low cost provider, whatever it is. And so then you mentioned your strategy. We had our best sales in Asia. As a team, we were very, very organized. We took turns as CEO, and we basically mastered everything. Unfortunately, we had conflict. We had some fights, but we ended up resolving it, and we learned a lot in our simulation, especially about operations. So you see, ladies, that is just a quick summary of what you're doing in your whole thing. You write this one last. Okay. So anyways, here we are. We've got, so introducing our team. You can do this in sentences. Our team is the SMART team, and we played 7 rounds of the SESAM. And in the chart below is some information. So ladies, if you look here, remember I said, so remember a lot of this information, you have a sentence to introduce, but then here's the chart. Now let me see if I can pop it up on the screen. Sorry, this is a bit slow getting this thing popped out. I see, I think I know why. I think it's opened already. Sorry. All right, so the screen, as you can see from this screen, if you construct a very simple chart, so you have a sentence to introduce, and then you have your chart. So the information according to the exercise here, sorry. Yeah, so here's the chart. But what would you do here is you introduce your team, just one sentence, our team is, etc. And in the chart below, you'll see information. So, the team members, what your functional areas, okay. Leadership, CEOs per round. So that's another chart. Where is it? Here we are. CEOs each round. See, in business, we like writing, but we like it if you can put things that are easy to understand in a chart or a table. Okay. So that's the bulk of your report is going to be charts. So your rules of your team. So remember that was something we did in the first, I think, week 4 or 5. We had the list of team rules. You remember doing that? Yes. So then you just put that there. And then the chart of the competitive strategy. Now remember didn't we have that? Yes, your strategy chart. Remember you filled that in? Okay. Wait a second. Yeah, okay, good. Sorry. So there's your strategy chart. What else can I show you? Okay, so this information, a lot of this you've already done before. Your team roles, who does what, who's CEO, and your strategy chart. Yeah, yes. Amna nods her head, she remembers. Good. So now that what you do now is it's the results. So basically what you want to do is we don't want you to compare yourself to everybody. That's just a lot of work. But what I think is useful is you compared yourself to the winner in your universe. And who was the big winner in this universe? The Musketeers, that's right. The men were the big winners. So what you want to do is you compare how you did with the winners. Now, if you're the winning team, if you're the Musketeers, you don't say, oh, I don't need to compare. No. Then what you do is you choose another team to compare to. Okay? So for the winning team, choose to compare with maybe the number 2 team. That actually would be interesting to find out how you did. The number 2 team was? Innocent Devils, yes. Okay, so now you know who you're comparing yourselves to. All of you here in this class, you're comparing yourselves to the Musketeers. Okay. So remember what we did was we learned in one of the PowerPoints at the very, very beginning of class, first week or second week, the tests of strategy. The test, did your strategy work? Focus differentiation, low cost provider, best cost provider, focus low cost. Did your strategy work? How do you know? Well, remember, there's only 3 ways: fit, SCA, and performance. So fit, how well did your plan fit the market conditions of each market area? So think of this. Remember, we learned in those 4 pages, remember I did those 3 videos on them? What is it that Asia, what do Asian customers like? Absolutely, you're right. They like stuff that's cheap because this is a poor market area. They just don't have a lot of money, and that's what it is. So that's what you work with. And now what about Asia? Oh, no, sorry, Asia. Europe, what is it? They love the latest technology. They like features. They love this stuff. So they're the opposite, really, of Asia. And the USA is in the middle. Okay, so remember you had to, I said to you ladies, and you've done it. Remember you've been doing this chart all around. Let me pull that up on the screen here. Okay, sorry. So you see this screen, that you've been doing this, right? And I know you've been doing this because you've been handing it in with your minutes. Yes. Smile, everyone looks so depressed. You've been doing this, right? You probably remember it was hard work, but you did do this, okay? So, and you've been writing down what you've been doing, right? Okay. So what you do for the chart, okay? So for here in the team report, it says, so how well did you fit the market conditions in each area? So what I did was the other students in the other classes said, could you help us out, give us a sample? I said, okay, sure. So for example, you had this. Okay, so you say round 1, you said, okay, we want to have, remember Tech 2. Everybody was saying Tech 2, and the original market condition was everyone likes Tech 2. So your company may have decided to come out with Tech 2 in Europe, USA, and Asia. And you can see from can you see the chart from there, Marwa? Can you see it, Clued? Yeah, okay. So maybe you were like this. Maybe your group says, oh, Europe, they really like Tech 2. Good, we're going to come up with Tech 2 with Europe, Asia, and USA. Great. And maybe you said, you know what, for Europe, we're going to come up with 3 features, because they like features, in Tech 2 and Tech 1. Okay. And then you had the price, but it wasn't too expensive. In Asia, you may have done this. Now, I think some teams came up with Tech 2 in Asia in round 1, but some teams didn't. So if you didn't, then I'll do this, and then we'll just take, yeah. Okay, so great. So we said Asia can't afford new features or tech, so we priced Tech 1 low and offered fewer features. Okay, so that could be what happened with you folks. You didn't come up with Tech 1 or Tech 2. You just came out with Tech 1 because you know Asia doesn't have a lot of money, right? In the USA, you came up with Tech 1 and Tech 2. You offered features, but not as many as Europe, right? So then you write, the couple of reasons why, right? You got that look, okay. Now, then as a part of, so maybe in Tech round 2, you found out, guess what? The Devilish Angels, I'm just making this up, that team came up with Tech 3 in round 2. So you say, okay, we got to come up with it. But what we'll do is we won't come up with it until later on. Right? So whatever you did, whatever your reasoning is, who's your marketing person? Matha? Right? Bashar. Okay, Bashar. So these are just simple little explanations why you came up with whatever. Now, I think some of your teams are looking at me and saying, Miss, we didn't do that. We had boo-boos, right? Because I know some teams forgot to price it, right? So then what you do is in this area, so let me just, again, pretend that this is a real thing. Okay, you can see what I'm doing on the board. Okay, so maybe what you did was, I'm just going to pretend. Okay. Copy. Okay. So maybe this was your situation. We forgot to price it. Boo boo. Okay, where is it? I want this to, I think it's that one, yes. Our marketing person forgot to price it. Big boo boo. So let me go here. I want to make it align. You know how to do this alignment, right, ladies? Okay, sorry, this, I'm having problems with my laptop, but anyways, so you aligned it just like I did up there, okay? So this is the easy part, because remember, every time you've met as a team, you had reasons for what you did, and you've all had this chart, okay? So, sorry, here's the alignment and wrap text, and I'm not sure where the, okay. Okay. So remember, the first one is fit. Second one, fit with the market. Second one is SCA. Remember, SCA stood for strategic, yeah, competitive advantage. So compared with the other competitors, how did you place? Now this one is easy to do. I suggest you just do a chart. So do it like this. Let me find another. Okay, so you could do a chart like this. Oh, it's locked for editing by me. Let me just stop that. Sorry, it's freezing again. Now, did we ask you to do this earlier? Because I don't think we did. So SCA. So insert a table or chart. Like this. So rather than saying just SCA, sustainable advantage. Okay, so here we are is rank, TSR, and team. If you have sustainable competitive advantage, you have basically a high TSR. Okay, so let me just, I'm saving this on the L drive. Okay, so ladies, do you have the SESAM up on your screen? Okay, well, if somebody could get the SESAM up. And I'm just going to try to put on this screen. You notice, we know, what I mean by rank is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Moza? Yeah, hi, Moza. All right. So who was the winning team? The Musketeers? No, no. No, no. This is for the end of the game. so the ending round of Sesame, so basically rank is who was number one. Who was the big winner? The Musketeers. How did we know they were the big winners? Do you remember what their TSR was? Anyone tell me? Yeah. Yeah, it was. Anyone see it? Pardon me? All right. Minus 0.7? All right. Okay. And so you do the same for 1.7? Like that? Minus 1.17, okay? So you do the same thing for all the others. Okay, so remember who was number 2? The Innocent Devils, right. So write down their TSR and also their team name, okay? So that's Sustainable Competitive Advantage, TSR, okay? So that was, the fit is about fit with the market area. The SCA is, I'd say, just to make it easier, the ranking at the end, number 1, who was the top, who was 3rd, 4th, etc. And then what was their TSR? That's how we know that. And then performance. Okay. So this one, ladies and gentlemen, you just rank yourself with the winning team. If you're Musketeers, you can rank with whoever you want. It makes sense to rank with number 2. Okay, so let's look at your performance. So you have to come up with several tables and charts. TSR, ROE, net profit, EPS, market share, and change in global sales revenue. So I think I've got the results. Right. It says sample tables. So I'm pulling this up. So for market areas, this is from last year's class. Marwa, are you okay? Yeah. So what you do, simply do this. The market share, Europe, Asia, and USA. For each round, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Okay, they only had 6 rounds last time. You have 7. Okay. For the winner and the one that they're comparing to, the same thing, market share, USA, Asia, and Europe. You just put the numbers down. Where do you find this? You find this here. Let me just show you. Go to your Sesame, and I'm going to pull up Sesame and, I don't know, Maymuna. Let's be Maymuna today. Okay, that's cute. All right, so Maymuna, results. So for each round, look at your market reports under global. I think, is it global? Okay, no, we want USA. Okay, so the Musketeers were the big winner, and total they had 24.11 in round 7. Okay. All right, so here it is for round 1. They had USA 21%. So what you would do is, for here, you would type the Musketeers. For USA, that was 21.03, right? Okay. Then for Asia, where are the men for Asia? Asia? Okay, so yeah, so for Asia, where are they? 26. Okay. And in Europe, okay, they are Musketeers, where are they? 16. See what I mean? So what you would do is then you would type those numbers in here. We've got the spreadsheet Those girls worked really hard last semester, so they've got the numbers there. All you have to do is put them in, and then you regenerate the chart. Do you know how to refresh a chart? Okay. Then you refresh the chart, and the numbers you put in would make sense. So, for example, I'm just going to change Panda. I'm going to put them at 30%. Okay, so 30% for round 1 in USA. So let's see if anything changes. Yeah, see that? So this thing, oh, I tell you, those students last year did a really good job. So the chart automatically replenishes. Okay, now, okay, so did you see that, Khalid? Yeah. Let's see what happens in Asia. I want to see what happens in Asia. Oh, this is going to be fun. Asia, round 6, you see here, we've got it as 43%. I'm going to decrease. I'm going to have it at 2%. Let's see if this orange thing goes to 2%. Yes! Did you see that? All right. Okay. So what you do is you do this. Now, the girls didn't do all the work for you last time because, they're nice, but I mean, they're not giving it away. So you do the same for the winning team and your team, and you know how to generate a chart like that. You know how to do that, right? Right? You could do. Yeah, I think there's a table format thing. You know how to do it. I know how to do it, but I can't do it right now because I'm nervous in front of you. But you know how to do it, okay? All right, so this is good. So what was it? What were we going to look at? We were looking at, here we are. So first, okay, so I showed you how to do the market. That was good. TSR, that's easy. Let me show you. Where is that? Sample tables, TSR. Okay, TSR. So here it is. TSR 1, 2, 3, 4 round, all the way to round 6. You add another line for round 7, and then you put the TSR. Okay, so where's the TSR? If you go to here, right? Yeah, TSR in the ratios, right? So you go, so remember, you're not doing everyone, just you and the winning team. So here's the men, 2.3 in round 1, and let's say you're the best, you're minus 19. Okay, then you do the same thing for round 2. What are the boys? Oh, the boys were minus 37 here, but the best you were only minus 29. So you just enter those numbers in, and you plug them in here. Okay, and I think they've got the chart set up so if the numbers change, these things change. And I'm going to try it. I'm going to see what happens here. Red roses. Instead of, I don't know, let's try 3%. Let's see what happens. Yeah, you could see there was a little bit of a shift.
We can't see anything.
You weren't looking. Okay, let's try this again. 43. You see? Oh, right. Thank you. Let's try that again. Okay, so I'm going to go from 43 to 3. Now just see if there's anything that changes there. You see? Okay. So now I think that you might need to change the axes a bit. Okay, but I think that that's pretty well it. Now let's go to the next one. Okay. What's this one? All right. So ROE. Do I have one for ROE? Did they do something for ROE? Let's take a look. ROE. Okay, they didn't do ROE, but it's easy for you to do. How do I know it's easy for you to do? Let's take a look. If you look on the ratios, ROE. So you did the same thing that you did with the TSR. You just copy. So I think what you do here, you know how to do this copy function. Do you know, Miriam? Okay, so you do the copy, create a copy, and I don't know, we'll put this here. You see what I'm doing here? Oh, okay, sorry, that's in the way. Okay, let's try that again. So, see, here it is, TSR. Okay, I'm going to move her, I'm going to copy, and I'm going to put a file right there. Okay, so what then I do is I rename it, and I'll call it ROE. All right, and then I rename it up here. Do you see what I'm doing? Makes sense. So ROE, So this is ROE. And then what you do is you take the figures from the ratios. You see where it says ROE? So then you put those numbers there. So this is Musketeers. And the ROE is 9.16. See that? Right? And then for another team, let's say if you are Shiny Stars, you're minus 11.65. And let me just check which round this is. Oh, this is round 5. Sorry. Minus 5. Okay, 5. And that's minus 11.65. And the boys were 9.16. You see what I've done? And just to keep things straight, every time you do one, just highlight it in a different color. Okay? And I think every time I change those numbers, so you see here what I've done is I've highlighted in a different color what I changes, and this, I think this automatically updated. Yeah, see, it now says Musketeers and Shiny Stars. The people who set this up last year spent a lot of work, so you can benefit. Look, Musketeers and Shiny Stars. So it's a matter of entering the numbers and just straightening out a few things to make it look good. And you can copy these. Can you copy these right into your Word document? Okay, can you do it? I'm sure you can. I can't, I'm old. You can because you're not yet old. Okay, so like copy, and then you can copy the whole thing. Okay, what else do we have? Okay, ROE, net profit. Now what you do see the net profit for round in each game. So where's your net profit? Let me see, do I have a chart for that? Okay, let me go to here. Net profit. So if you go to your net profit. So you see these profits per round? You go to that. And remember, we only want the winning team and you. Okay, so let's go back here. So net profit per round. So what you do is you take this. I'll just take one of these tables. Okay, how about this one? And we're going to rename it net profit. So I'm taking this and calling net profit. So remember, every time you change something, I think it's a good idea to put a color. Musketeers. And your team, we'll pick a team, we'll pick the best. Okay? So these are just going to be numbers, they're not percentages, so we're just going to convert the numbers. Make it a little bit bigger. What do you think? Okay, and so now let's take a look at the number that we're going to use for this one. Okay, so let's go to round 1, make it easy. All right, so let's the net profit of the Musketeers. You see that? Okay, so it's that much, 76381. All right, so 76381. Okay. So there it is for the boys. Now let's go back and see here. Which team is the best? The best, okay, here. You see that number? Minus 28, 342. Stop.